I want to share with you my reasons for living here on the Space Coast. I moved here when I was 3. I didn't have much of a say in that. My parents moved here to work at Harris Corporation, which was the major employer back then. And it was a quiet little area. Think of I Dream of Jeannie, if you're old enough to remember. That's what it was like here on the Space Coast. But today, it's much different. One of the fastest growing areas in the country and desirable as far as a place to live. Let's talk about where the Space Coast is. And let's talk about where I am, honestly. So I decided today to do this video from my front porch because I think what better way to describe to you what a great place it is than to sit here on my own front porch. You can see in the background my plumeria that are blooming. It's such a great tropical island that I have with all my palm trees, my bamboo, my plumeria. I love it. I sit here on the front porch all the time, talk to the neighbors. So that's one of the things I love about my home. But I'm going to tell you the greatest things about living on the Space Coast. The Space Coast is located about an hour east of Orlando along the Atlantic shore. So when you think about, due east from Orlando, and then maybe a touch south of that, we are 85 miles from tip to tip. So we are a long, narrow county, one of the longest counties in Florida. We have 72 miles of coastline, and that is my number one reason that I love to live on Florida's Space Coast is all the beaches that we have. We have 87 public access beaches that are run by the county. That does not include all the other access beaches that are through the different municipalities and different park systems that are not county run. So 87 just through the county. You can get to the beach so easily. Many of them are free beaches. They are paid for by the county. You do not have to pay to park. Also, if you live close to the beach, of course, you can walk, you can ride a bike. There's golf cart parking at some of the beaches. So it is a great spot. You also have beaches that are very uncrowded. Now, can you go to a crowded beach? Of course you can. You can go to a crowded beach, and some people love that. But if you like quiet beaches, we have lots of those as well. So a beautiful place to enjoy all that we have to offer with the Atlantic Ocean right here. The number 2 reason that I love living here is what the name implies, the Space Coast. We have a front row seat to rocket launches. I literally can go out my front door. I hear the house start to shake a little bit, feel the house start to shake a little bit, and I know it's a rocket launch. Or I hear a little bit of noise, and I know it's a rocket launch. I can just run out my front door, run out my back door, and watch a launch take place in real time. If you plan a little bit, you can go down to the beach and see the launches from the beach, or you can go to the Space Center, a lot of people do, and see the launches there. But pretty much anywhere in Brevard County, you have a front row seat to those rocket launches. How incredible is that? I've literally been driving down the road at night and the whole sky lit up. And I was like, what is that? And then I realized, oh yeah, it's a rocket launch. There are so many of them that we don't really remember or know when they're coming. I get a little alert on my phone. Hey, there's going to be a rocket launch. We're preparing for a rocket launch. Yeah, whatever. It's incredible. We're launching people and payloads into space. I don't know. I think it's a great place to live because of that. The number 3 reason that I love living on the Space Coast is our laid-back, affordable coastal lifestyle. So many places where you're in the United States, anywhere in the United States, not just Florida, that you are close to the beach or have access to the beach, it's kind of unaffordable at this point. But here in Brevard County, we have everything from starter homes for first-time home buyers to luxury properties. There's a wide variety of properties. Are you going to live in a home by the beach as your first home with a modest budget? No, probably not. But you can be 15 minutes from the beach. And again, most of our beaches have free beach access. We're not even paying for parking. So you can drive on over, enjoy the day at the beach, and head for home. So it's a great feature of our area. Number 4 is our amazing school system. We have one of the best school systems in the state of Florida. So the public schools are fabulous. I went to public schools. My kids went to public schools until my son was diagnosed with autism. We decided to move him to a private school. And one of the things Florida has is a great program where you can take the funds that would have been spent on going to a public school and apply those to a private school. It may not pay all of the tuition, but it does assist. So if you decide either you want to go to a private school for a reason like I did with my child, or maybe the schools in the area that you're going to buy in are not the schools that you would prefer your child attend. We do have schools of choice where you can opt in to a school out of your district, but that's a whole nother process. It's not guaranteed. Or you decide you want to go to a private school, you can then use features of this state of Florida program to get monies to then go to a private school. But again, our public schools are fabulous. A lot of them, the kids bike or walk to those. We don't even need to use buses for many of those. In the mainland areas like Vieira, a lot of the kids go to school, their parents take them on golf carts. So we have the morning golf cart parade and then the afternoon golf cart parade when they're heading back home. So that's always fun. Our area is filled with wonderful job opportunities, and that's reason number 5 why I love living on the Space Coast. There are so many high-tech job opportunities here. Not only do we have NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origins with the space programs, we have the aerospace companies, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, L3 Harris, Boeing. There are tons of companies, and then related companies like Embraer Jets has their headquarters here at Melbourne Orlando International Airport. There's also the affiliated businesses, which is like all the healthcare companies, hospitality industry, so many jobs here on the Space Coast. And it's a growing area. So more and more jobs all the time. And again, with the affordable housing, you'll be able to live here and have a nice lifestyle. I also love the travel in and out of the area. So I just mentioned Melbourne Orlando International Airport. We have a great airport here in Melbourne. It's a growing airport. American Airlines and Delta Airlines both fly out of Melbourne, and they go generally to their hubs, Delta in Atlanta and American in Charlotte, North Carolina, but they also do have some direct flights. There's also some smaller carriers that fly direct out of our airport. But if you want to fly to just about anywhere in the world, you can just drive 45 minutes to an hour and be at Orlando International Airport, which services most of the world. At least you can find a connecting flight to most of the world through Orlando International Airport. Another great reason to live here is our proximity to Orlando. You love Mickey and Minnie like I do, and you want to have seasonal or annual passes to Disney World, Florida resident rates to all of the theme parks. So Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld. If you enjoy going to the theme parks, we are so close. There's also a lot of cultural opportunities and sporting events that take place in Orlando, and we're so close. You can drive over for the day, for the evening, and just then come home to your beautiful laid-back lifestyle here on Florida's Space Coast. The number 8 reason that I love living here on Florida's Space Coast is our overall location within Florida. We are in East Central Florida, so I can get to just about anywhere else in Florida within a short drive. So I want to go to, let's say, South Florida. I want to head to Miami and have a weekend there, or Fort Lauderdale or West Palm Beach. I can do it. I have my best friend over in St. Petersburg. I can be over there in a few hours. Or I like to hang out in St. Augustine. The Festival of Lights is fun at the holidays, and I can be there in a few hours. But one of my favorite things is to visit the Florida Keys, because so many people want to go to the Caribbean. Why? Have you been to the Florida Keys? You don't have to go to Key West. I love Marathon, my favorite place to go. So relaxing. I feel like I'm in a completely different place. It feels like the Caribbean. The water is beautiful. It's such a relaxing vacation. And I can be there in about 4 or 5 hours from my spot here on Florida's Space Coast. We have so many outdoor activities here, and that is reason number 9. I love Florida's Space Coast, and that is from golf. If you love golf, there are more golf courses. I like putt-putt or riding in the cart. Not the best golfer in the world, but if you love golf or you want to learn golf, this is the place to be. And a lot of the course fees are really, really reasonable. But we also have an endless amount of water sports, of course, where you can go and boat, you can kayak, you can surf, you can paddleboard. There's so much to do on the water. And of course, fishing is a huge pastime here on the Space Coast. Lots of bicycle clubs for biking. If you like your kids want to play soccer or softball, there's adult sports too and adult sports leagues. So there's so much to do here. And with our beautiful weather year round, you can't miss out on all there is to do outside. The final reason I love living here on the Space Coast is our welcoming communities. I grew up in this town, but there's just nowhere like it. When I lived in South Florida, I just didn't feel that same sense of community. Even when I go inland to Vieira or Melbourne or Grant Valcaria or Merritt Island, the neighbors are so welcoming. The people are so nice. And of course, here along the beach, you get that laid back coastal vibe. And I just love it. I don't think that there's anywhere better to live. It's why I grew up here and then decided to return and live here and bring my kids up here, because what better place could I have than Florida's Space Coast? So if you're looking to make a move, if you're here and you're just looking to sell your home, I would love to help. You can reach out to me. My information is below. I love a phone call, but I also text and of course email, or you can direct message me through whatever platform that you're watching on. I hope that you will tune in and subscribe. I have lots of information on real estate, the Space Coast lifestyle, and also other areas in Florida. I'd love to hear from you. If there's something in particular that you have a question on or would like me to do a video on, I would love to hear. So just leave me a comment, or again, reach out to me through one of the other methods. I hope to hear from you soon, and I look forward to seeing you next time.